What's up everyone, Aaron Schatz here, and I'm not doing another playthrough of anything. I'm going to actually explain to you a little bit about how I actually go about developing a new mobile game. The first thing you should actually realize is a lot of things go into actual mobile game, or any project itself. Now, what I'm going to show you today, hopefully, is I'm going to take about an hour to do this, so we'll see how this goes. This is totally unscripted and everything. I want to make a scaffolding for all the future games that I have. So this is probably on ASE Publishing, which is the video game publishing channel that I actually have. You know that I have Gridblock, you know that I have Math Attack, and you know that I have Stop the Fuse. Gridblock was actually the most polished game I've ever made, and then I backported a lot of the changes to Math Attack and Stop the Fuse. And what I've learned is that you can actually have a stable base that you then create these games from. And that's what I'm going to do with this scaffolding. There's a lot of things that I actually want to do in a base of a game before the gameplay is even in there. So some things like having a theme engine, all the theme colors, light and dark support, font support, responsive scaling, base UI colors, success error warning, buttons plus dialogues, the menu styles, the dialogue styles itself, the app bar plus the icons in the app bar. And for the theme, I want 10 defined colors plus border colors. This is for the neon themes that my games use. I also want to make sure there's a sound library that pre-caches assets, low latency play, and mute controls. I want shared preferences that can store the theme, store the mute, store everything else. I drew a little picture of what I want to achieve here. And let's get going. So I use Cursor to actually do everything. I sometimes use ChatGPT, so I actually have a browser window behind that I'll bring to the front if needed. And what we're going to do right now is I'm going to explain how I do things and potentially how easy it is. And I know this might be eye-opening for some people, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through this together. So I have a project in Cursor. So Cursor uses a fork of VS Code. And what I have is essentially a workspace is a folder. And in this workspace, I have two actual folders right now. One is guides and one is assets. And I put in assets/sound, there's a pop.wave because that's basically what I want to put in to see that the sound library actually works that we implement. Now, under guides, I have a bunch of things that I actually developed when I was developing Gridlock. So there's this layout menu style, responsive text scaling, the sound system itself, and the theme documentation, all that was made from Gridblock. And I'm going to use those guides to actually help when I'm building this out. And again, I'm using Cursor, and I'm not going to be doing this myself for the most part. I'm going to be using agents. So I'm going to use the agent mode, and then we'll see how this goes. So let's just get into this. So when you're using Cursor, the 2.0 and above version of Cursor has an agent mode. Generally, I leave everything on auto. I know some people are a lot more particular about using specific models and stuff. I don't care that much. If it works, it works, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to have the plan all done and all written out and have it as large as possible. So I'm going to put everything that I possibly can think of at the start into the planning part of this. And this is where some people get things wrong. At the beginning, when I used to actually do this, before there was like these plan modes and stuff, I used to do small incremental updates. Now, having a giant plan and having the ability to execute pieces of that plan is actually very, very useful. So what we're going to do right now is start writing and then see where it goes. Now, I use Flutter. Flutter is basically a cross-platform library that works on Linux, Windows, Mac. It works on the web, it works on iOS, it works on Android, and basically it is a framework that allows me to make essentially one application, build it for multiple platforms. And you'll see how useful it is, especially because you can deploy things to the web, how easy it is to actually test things without actually running an emulator or using an actual device, for instance, which you can do as well. That's all supported. So my Cursor has Flutter already installed. It already has all the extensions for Android and such like that. So that's all that you should actually expect already. So Flutter's installed, Dart's installed, all the extensions that are needed and such. But instead of actually going in and saying, oh, go create a new Flutter project and it's going to do this, I'm just going to have the AI do everything. So let's just start and see where we go. Let's see here. Okay. I speak in like I want to. So I want to create a new Flutter project. It will be called Scaffold. The package name for Android will be com.asepublishing.scaffold. This doesn't matter right now. I just like to just put this in for right now. You'll know that when you start to mess with the actual package names for Android, you actually have to do a lot of things in the actual Android code itself and not just in Flutter. Unless I'm doing something wrong, which I possibly could, but getting your package name right first time is very important. So let's just do that. You can always fix this stuff later, so it's not that big of a deal though. The project will have complete theme support. Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna say in the guides directory, there are multiple files for documentation about how to do various aspects, such as the theme, styling, responsive design, and sound system. I want to ensure that this application follows those design principles and shows them off. I want a theme system that can do light and dark mode. The theme system must control all coloring in the application. Oh man, I'm bad at spelling. Application. The application will not define any specific colors and will only use theme-derived colors. So that essentially means that in the application, I don't want to say like, oh, this is going to be a blue somewhere. The theme should control that, and then what the application will do is use like a border color. So it would say like, what color to use? Border color. And the border color is defined in the theme, for instance. It might actually have specific theme coloring. Like for instance, there could be 10 defined colors to use in the actual application for things like, buttons. Like for instance, stop the fuse. There's 10 different number digit boxes. There's 10 colors, for instance. So that's what we're going to define here. Let's see here. So I got that defined. Now I want to. A theme will control what font is used throughout the application. It will. The responsive scaling isn't necessarily part of the theme, so I'm going to leave that out for now. It will define base UI colors, success, error, warning, dialogues, and buttons, and badges. I'm going to put base UI color standard, success and buttons, dialogues, and badges. Now, like, my English isn't great, but that doesn't really matter because we could fix this when the plan is created. So no big deal. The theme doesn't matter for the menu yet. This is all stuff. Dialogues, app bar plus icons, blah, 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 blah. The theme will provide 10 sets, 10 different color sets. Let's see here, 10 for dark, 10 for light, that will be used for coloring UI elements for the inner fill of an element and a border. The fill and border will be a set that the application can use directly. Let's see here. I think that pretty much covers the theme. Now I want to talk about see the theme and style guides in guides for more. So that we can stop right there and just let it do its thing, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep going here. Now, I want to talk about the sound library. Let me just see if I can actually hit. Nope, no, stop. Wait, stop. I thought I can actually like bring this into another thing to actually type, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it in here because I'm lazy. For the sound library, follow the information in the guides. Now you might be thinking this is a cop-out because I have guides in there. The guides merely just say what I'm writing. I'm just reiterating it, and I just want to make sure that it actually does it right the first time. And you'll get to know what I mean if you start using stuff like this. A lot of times it goes and does something, and there are slight changes, and then you don't want those changes. So a lot of times it doesn't do things wrong per se. It just does things that you don't expect. So you want it to be very specific in what it's actually doing, and that's what these guides are trying to make for it. It doesn't mean that I could probably just take out that there's guides in here, and it will create something totally fine. The problem is that I already have specific styles and such that I use from GridBlock, and I want to maintain that, and the only way to do that is if I tell it those styles already. So that's what I'm doing here. Now, if you're actually starting from fresh, you don't need to do all that. You could just go for it, basically. Let's see here. Now, the sound library, for the sound library, follow the information in the guides, especially for pre-caching assets, low latency play, and the ability to mute. There is a sound asset in assets sound called pop.wave to use for this application. Okay, so that's a sound. And now the other thing about Flutter is that it has the ability to do like shared preferences. That's the actual library that it's called, to actually save settings. And we're going to build a library for that too. Another library will be for saving preferences. The shared preferences. Let's see here. Shared preferences may be used. Okay, I'm just going to say that as a hint for that. Ensure that the library allows any needed setting to be stored that the application needs. That's fine. That's it. So let's see here. The responsive stuff now. I forgot to talk about the responsive. In the guides, there is a document for responsive text and UI scaling. Ensure that the application is responsive for text scaling and UI like zoom scaling. So for instance, in Android, there's actually two sliders. One for increasing the text size or decreasing the text size, and the second one is for effectively blowing up the entire display. And you have to be careful in Flutter, like from those specific things. And I know that there are ways to basically say like forget the actual scaling that the actual person did, but one thing you have to be aware of is that those things exist for accessibility reasons, and you should try to be as accessible as possible. So try to be as responsive as possible as well. And that's what we're going to try to do. It doesn't work all the time, and sometimes you just have to like do things that aren't exactly accessible, but it is what it is. Try to be as accessible as possible. Now, I think we've got enough defined on the library stuff. Now I want to talk about the scaffold application itself. For the application scaffold, I want to show a safe area enabled example for the different libraries. So safe area is a way to make sure that a Flutter application stays within the bounds of what the actual operating system expects it to. So for instance, if I didn't put like a safe area around the application, essentially, what would happen is on Android, the application would extend above the notification bar to the top of the screen and below the navigation elements on the bottom of the screen. So saying like, oh, I want its safe area means it will contain it to be where a normal application would be and not like explode past it. Now there are ways where you can actually like say like, I don't care about the safe area and do things, but for this purposes, we're not. We're going to just stay in the safe area. Now, what did I have here? For the application scaffold, I want to show a safe area enabled example for the different libraries. I want an app bar, which is like the title bar basically, with scaffold as the application title. I want a mute button in the app bar and then a menu button in the app bar. We'll get to the menu in a second. Actually, I'll do it right now. The menu, I should not have to describe what the mute button does. Actually, I will though. The mute button will toggle between muted and unmuted states in the sound library. Okay, so that's the mute button. And then I'll put the default. Default will be unmuted. It will pick a proper icon based on that. It's also defined in the styles, I hope, so we'll see. For the menu, this might be too large, so we'll see how this works. For the menu, use the documentation in the guides folder and make, let's see here, what do I want? So I need, and make, let's see here, we need, so I'll tell you what the menu style is going to be. Essentially, it's a menu, and there's going to be a menu header with an X to actually close the menu. And then there's going to be the menu like stuff underneath it, and there's going to be sections that could be there. Each section is going to have its own coloring and such, and then each menu item has another coloring. And then depending on like if you have the neon actual style, the neon glow, the menu is completely different. So I'll show you what I mean. Make a section for settings which contain menu options for sound control, like mute and unmute. and theme settings, which opens a theme dialog. The theme dialog also documented in guides, will have, wait. Oh, I forgot to say something about the theme. Let's see here. The theme is, where I say light? I guess it's the application that's, let's see here, light and dark mode. It will also enable the application, I don't know how to say this, to be able to read the system settings to know if it should be light or dark at the start. Okay, that's whatever. The theme will contain options for system, light, dark, and turning on and off the neon glow. Okay, so that's fine. Again, a lot of this stuff we could fix once it's actually there. This plan is getting kind of big, so we'll see what actually happens. I've never made a plan this big, so this is a test. Now let's see here. I've got the menu. I want to have the 10 buttons under the app bar. There will be 10, numbered buttons, each using a different themed, I'll just say neon themed color set. Underneath the number buttons will be badges for a normal badge, a success badge, a warning badge, and an error badge. Keep these 2 per line. Upon clicking any badge, the application will show a dialog of the same type. Let's see, what did I say? Normal for normal, success badge to success dialog, etc. Let's see if that screws up. Each dialog will have a button to show the proper styling and coloring that clears the dialog. And let's see here. So I think I got everything. Blah, 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 blah. You know what? Let's just give it a shot here. Dialog buttons, got that. Menu, got another dialog. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Now, let's see here. It's going to be like, oh, bleh. It also has to create. And then the other thing, let's see here. Here we go. Clarifying a few details. So originally there was only 7. And it wants to make 10. No, I don't. I'm gonna. So like for number 1, so I defined 7 in grid block. We're gonna have to make an additional 3. So interestingly enough, the stop the fuse actually has this defined. However, I never actually defined it in the theme file, so I just kind of left it. So now we're gonna define it here. So pink, teal, and magenta sounds great. Use a. So number 2. Each set should provide a fill color and border color that can be used together, correct? Yes. Both used together. 4.3. Should they use semantic coloring from the theme? Yes. Is A. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what happens here. Okay, here we go. What do we got here? So now what Cursor's doing is it's making a plan. And we can actually go like down the list and see what this plan does. And before it actually does this, we can make corrections if needed. One thing I forgot to actually say, which I'll do in this, I want to make sure that all of the actual libraries that it's using, all the SDKs and such, are the latest. So I'm going to wait. So it's got this. So I already made that mistake, right? Ensure that the latest SDKs and libraries are being used. I'm still in plan, as you can see down here. It's still in plan. Uh-oh, it's gonna like freak out. Ugh, it's so huge, it's like blah. Okay. We can, yeah, we'll do that. Check pub dev, sure we can do that. Okay, whatever. Sure, did that. Ah, wait a second. See, it says, so this I want to change already, where it says configure assets. Add assets sounds pop.wave to pubspec.yaml. I don't want to do that. I want to add assets/sounds. For 3, I want to ensure that the assets sound directory is added, not just the individual file. Boom. Okay, so here we go. Create that. Let's see here. Flutter, sure. Pub, yep. So in Flutter, pubspec.yaml controls a lot of like the general gist stuff about the application, like version, build number, and the name and such like that. Let's see here. All this seems okay. This seems okay. Now let's see here. Set up project structure, lib services, theme service, that's good. Lib utils, text scaling, sure. Widgets, yep, that's main screen screens. App entry point, lib main.dart, yep. Latest Flutter design, Material 3 design, latest widget patterns and null safety, sure. Modern async and await patterns, latest, well, let me look at this first, because I forgot to also say, like, you know, make sure that it can catch and handle errors. Theme system implementation. Core theme classes, let's see here. Game colors, base, background, surface, text, buttons, semantic colors, sure. Color sets, class, representing fill plus border, yep, 10. Neon effects, yep. Game theme, complete theme of colors, effects, typography. Theme service, a singleton, sure. 7 colors, 3 new colors. Each set provides fill, border, fill color and border color for both dark and light themes. So basically what happens if you say, like, I want to use cyan, so cyan dark and cyan light will just be defined for you in the theme. So in the application, you just say, like, I'm going to use cyan, whatever the dark or light theme is, it just works. Theme features, system theme detection on startup, light dark system mode selection, neon glow toggle persisted. That's persisted, but I want to make sure that the theme selection is persisted too, but we could fix that later. All colors from the theme, no hard-coded colors. Typography system with theme-controlled fonts, good. Sound system implementation. Singleton with player pool for individual players. Low latency mode. Asset preloading, yep. Mute toggle with persistence. Play by key or asset path, sure. Initialize before run app, don't care about that. Map pop to a logical key pop. Verify the latest audio players, sure. Preferences system. Preferences service wrapper around shared preferences. Store the theme mode. Yep. Neon effects. Yep. Sound, muted state, and any other app settings that we need. We don't need them yet. Responsive text UI scaling. Text scaling Dart. Let's see here. Get scaled font size. Get text scale factor. Get scale padding. Apply to all text buttons dialogues. Use fitted box for overflow possession. Use layout builder for width constraints. Main UI implementation. App bar, title, scaffold, theme, responsive, mute button, right, toggle sound off and on, menu button opens the settings menu, main content 10 number buttons, 1 to 10, a different color set, styled with the fill and border from respective color set, apply neon effects when enabled, responsive sizing, I should probably say like one, let's just say like, 5 for the numbered buttons, make it 0 to 9 and use 5 numbers per line. But let me just see what else I'm going to change here. Let's see here. Badges, normal badge, use standard button colors, use semantic, use warning semantic, use error semantic, each badge clickable showing corresponding dialogue, standard dialogue styling, success, warning, error, each allows button dismissed, styled appropriately, menu system, menu dialogue, followed to guide specifications, header strip with title and close button, that is correct, settings section, sound control, theme settings. I can also add an about section, but I don't actually need to worry about that once it's actually done, so I'm not going to worry about that. Theme settings dialog, a modal dialog with header strip, theme mode selection, system option, follows device, light option, dark option selected, state with check icon. Okay, here is the check icon. It's actually it's technically not a check. It's actually a radio button for the menu items that show multiple options, like the theme dialog. The selected option will use a filled radio button, and the select is the wrong word, but still will use empty radio button. Okay, did that. Boop. Let's see, neon effects. Dynamic subtitle based on the state, sure. Widget components, themed button, themed badge, themed dialog, color set button, yep, all good. Main app, initialize service before run app, wrap app, and animated builder for theme reactivity. Configure material app theme, yep, use the latest material 3, set up safe area and home screen. Ensure compatibility with latest Flutter stuff. Here's the implementation order. Project setup and dependencies, preferences service, theme service, sound service, text scaling, main screen structure, menu and dialogues, badges and buttons, integration and testing. Let's see what the verification. Sure, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Files to create. Here we go. And then they also have to like create a, okay. Also ensure that libraries have proper exception and error handling. Oh, let's see what happens here. And then we're going to just give this a shot and see what happens. Like 34 minutes into this thing, and then nothing has been created so far. But theoretically, with this plan in place, something should actually come out. So we'll see. Then the other thing I'll tell you, once you actually have something in place, learn how to use Git, because it will save your butt. I'm telling you, it will save your butt. Let's see here. Did it update all this stuff? Let's see here. Let me see here. View plan. Get out of here. Button 0 to 9. Did that. I think we're good to go. Afterwards, I'll say put a git ignore file and stuff. So let's just, here we go. We're going to, okay, so this might take a little bit. This might take a little bit. Okay, so they're going to search for the latest. Of course, look at the, I know it like thinks it's in 2024, I guess, because of the actual like large language models it's using, but still, It'll be good enough. And you could always update it later. I just want to make sure that it's relatively current. Okay, here we go. Let me just make sure. I never have it run commands without me checking. I just don't trust it still. Okay. Let's take a little drink. What do you think about that? So now it's adding like the okay, here we go. So it's going to add essentially the services, utilities, widgets, and screens. Perfect. Now it's going to actually run a Flutter pub get, which gets all of the loaded libraries, audio players, and all the other stuff. Here we go. Now we're getting into it. Implementing the services, theme service. I mean, theoretically, this might be really quick. I gave it a pretty specific thing to do, and the guides also are pretty specific. I mean, we'll know pretty quickly when we run a test if this is working well or not. And I'll run a test. I'll show you how I do testing a lot. I actually use a web build because I don't have to use an actual emulator for anything. And then we'll just give it a shot. And then we can test it on an actual Android emulator. And you can test it on a device if you want, but I'm not going to. The emulator is good enough. When you're actually about to put things into like test builds on Google Play and stuff, that's when you should really start to use on-device testing. But when you're just doing like debugging and stuff, like emulator's fine. The web is usually fine as well. Again, you gotta figure out what works best for you. So let's see here. What I also found is that essentially when I wrote stop diffuse the first time, it was like one giant main.dart file. And it was unwieldy. And it was unwieldy to the large language model that I was trying to. And it just started just like spitting out errors and such. Uh-oh. So we've got like stuff going on here that it's redoing. So that's fine. What I realized later is like normal programming stuff. Make libraries, make functions, don't do everything in one file kind of thing. Here we go. Verifying the project compiles. Run. Yeah, whatever. There we go. So now it's even cleaning up the code. I mean, it didn't clean up that stuff. So now what we'll do, we're going to keep everything. I don't really care about like looking at this stuff because whatever. Now I'm going to switch to the editor. And now I'm going to go see what we got here. Let's see if it actually put in a git ignore here. It did. Good. It already put in a git ignore. So we can actually start this as well. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to build this for Android. It's just going to have a debug build on there. So I'm not going to worry about that. What it probably doesn't have is run profiles to actually see if it's working. So for instance, let's see here. So let's look at pubspec.yaml first. The name is called Scaffold, and it's a new Flutter project. And we're going to call it ASE Publishing. And then we'll just do Scaffold. Game Scaffold, even better. And the version is this, and it was supposed to like, use a whatever, but it's fine. There are a lot of times when you're building this, it might complain about like the Android NDK, and you just have to like make some changes to the files. But yeah, like there's a lot of like weird nuances that actually happen here. Essentially what I'm going to try to do is just make sure that this compiles correctly and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go to run and debug, and you could see that there is no run and debug profiles. So I'm going to actually make some, and I'm going to use a different agent for that. So I'm going to go back to agents, and then I'm going to do a new agent So let's see here. I have a Flutter project that needs run and debug. What the hell is it called? Oh, here we go. Launch.json. Profiles in launch.json. Make them for testing Chrome, Android. Actually, that's all I want. Android emulators, Android physical device. That's it for now. Accept. Let's see here. Physical device run. That's not going to work. I already know that's not going to work, but that's fine. I don't like that there's release and stuff, but it's okay. We're going to keep it for now. So now I'm going to go back to editor just because whatever. So I'm going to do Chrome, and then we'll do debug. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this is on Chrome web. I don't think it mattered that much. I'm going to hit run, and then we're going to see what happens. See if it actually like runs and does anything. Okay, so oh wow, it actually like sort of worked. Let's see here. I'm gonna shrink. So I'll show you something interesting that you can do. Let me make sure that you can actually see the stuff over here. There we go. So if you in Chrome, well, there is an exception here. I'm going to show you this first. So this asset source, they can't find the asset source. And I bet you I know why. So let's see here. If we go to, if I hit F12 and I go to network, and then I'm going to refresh this over here. Let's see what happens. Oh, what do I have here? There's a 404 because it's trying to use assets/assets/assets/sound. So something's wrong here. Now I'm going to go to the other. Where's the? Go to the other agent right now. Let's see here. There is a 404 error on start. Boop. Let's see if it figures out what that is. That's the wrong asset folder. Okay, so we'll keep that and just see what happens. Let me reload this and see. Oh, let me clear this out. Boop. Let me try this again. Okay, looks like it worked. Okay, so that's good. Now, let's see here. Let me move this in so you can see it. So now the other interesting thing you could do about Chrome, and Firefox does this too, but I like it in Chrome because that's what this is using. So I'm going to use a Pixel 7, and you could see that it's a little bit shrunk, but let's see if I could do this. And boop, 100%. There you go. So you see, I got a nice Pixel 7 right here. And let's see here. We got a button here. These buttons look pretty good. Colors look pretty good. I don't like that this magenta and this red are so close together. I don't like that the themes. So we're going to change 7 and 9, and probably 7, 8, and 9 probably need a little changing in the theme. But let's see here. So the normal, see what happens. Oh, I don't like that at all. That's wrong. And you're asking, why is it wrong? It's wrong because this is using the neon glow. Like, let's see here. So this seems to work. I forgot to actually put in something that actually makes the actual pop sound. So I should do that as well. In fact, let's just do that right now. Add a button under the badges to play the pop.wave sound. And seriously, like this is how easy it starts to be once you actually have a good base. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you don't use Git, you could be in a world of hurt when it does something completely wrong and you're not going to be able to recover. So I'm going to initialize Git soon on this, just to make I realize once I'm satisfied that this is working correctly. So now I'm going to make this. So normally I have like the screen is cut in half, but I'm recording this in a way that is basically 1920 by 1080. So that's why it's like this. So let's see here. Let me see if I can actually play the sound. Oh, sounds like it's playing. What if we mute it? It's muted. Now, there's some other things here that I don't like, that it gets wrong via the style guides. So see these buttons here? These buttons are not circular. In the style guide that I actually said, I want these to be circular in the app bar. And the app bar itself is not styled correctly. So the title should be the accent colors as well. Now, so let's see here what we want to change first. So this is where I start to change one thing at a time. In the app bar, oh wait, I'm going to see if it does this on the menu too. See, the menu is also the same. This should be circular. Yep. All right, so we're going to do that. In the app bar and menus, dialogues, where there is a icon like close, the border must be a circle as per the guides. I think that's an application thing. I don't think that's... But I'm not sure, so we'll see. Yeah, it's an application thing that it's doing. So it's not like a... It's not the theme itself. But I want this application scaffolding to be correct from the start. So we'll keep all that. Boom, looks better, doesn't it? Oh, that looks much better. Love it. That should be a toggle. That should be a toggle button. Now, I'm going to go through little by little. The sound menu item in the menu should have a toggle button on the right. And let's just see if it uses the right coloring now. Notice I didn't really touch any code yet, except for like pubspec.yaml, but that doesn't really matter. So we'll see what happens here. Oh, love it. Yeah, much better, right? There we go. That white is a little too white. But I'm going to leave it for now. I have to do some investigations later. That doesn't work. What's happening here? Let's go to the editor and see. The neon effects doesn't seem to do anything. It's not like updating. Something's like totally broken here. All right. Okay, something's totally broken here. Let's see what the success. That's pretty weird too. That's pretty weird. Yeah, so I think that this should be the other way. Okay, so where's my agents? Here we go. Now let's do one thing at a time. Let's stick with the menu stuff for now. So sound looks fine. You can see it's updating there. Theme settings. So now this is an application thing. We're going to keep all this for the theme dialog. The changes to the theme should apply to everything immediately, including the theme dialog itself. Let's see if it will do that. These little knickknacks that happen. This happened in every application that I did. It happened in Math Attack. It happened in Stop the Fuse. It happened in Gridblock. All right, go ahead and analyze that ish. It's all warnings. All right, let's redo that. Theme settings. Light theme. Ooh, nice, huh? Dark theme, nice. System. Mine's a dark theme. Neon. Oh, see that? Now it's working. Good. All right. So I'll show you the difference here. So if I have, so here's neon, right? Now if I turn on the neon effects, turn off them, you can see like nothing has glow. It's pretty fine. So the success, so I want to show you something here. So in the actual guide, I actually said this too. So you notice like the success warning and errors look fine here. And when I do this, oh, this looks fine. So what's happening is the neon effect glow is applied to the dialog incorrectly. So now I have to fix that for all these. And it doesn't happen on this one, which I'll show you. So let's turn this back on. Neon effects, go. So it doesn't have, oh, it does happen on that one. So I got to fix all of these. Yeah, so we'll fix that. But let's just see how the light theme works. Like it. Oh, I don't like the warning color. That should be that should be yellow, not orange. These colors look wrong to me. These colors do not look correct to me. Whoa, what's happening with the mouse? Oh, my goodness. These look exactly the same as the dark colors. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. No, I think they're okay. Yeah, I think they're okay. Maybe I'm just like seeing things. I have to do a little bit more of inspection there. But okay, so we'll get back to system. I'm going to end this video soon. I don't want to keep doing this, but I'm giving you like an example of what's going on. Now, what do I want to actually investigate here? So I want to change the color. I'm going to go down the list. So we did menu, sound control works. This is correct now. The theme setting is correct. This is correct. And okay, that's all working. This works fine. Oh, wait. No, this is right. The game menu is all the way to there. The actual spacing looks correct. And this modal dialog is fine. Keep the modals that way. Now let's go into the modals for the information, success, warning, and failure. Okay, so good. For the modal dialogues, modal means like a pop-up in your face that takes control of the entire application, like in front. Information, success, warning, and error. The neon glow effect shouldn't be... What is going on here? Get out of the way! Shouldn't be applied to the inside of the dialog background. Let's just see if that does it. This is where things are going to get weird. I didn't say that. Wait, let's see here. Well, let's see. What did you do here? Okay. I like that. I like it. Yep. Oh, I like it. Is there a little hint of blue here? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure about this text. Oh, the text is all like weird. Also because like when it does the Pixel 7 scaling on here, the text gets all wonky. So the text doesn't look this bad on an actual device or the web itself. I'll show you like just take my word for it. And error. This looks good, but however, the actual backgrounds should be, so the normal one is fine, but you see how the badge for success has green? That should be the button color as well. This button should be that. So I want to swap the badge and the button itself. So let's see here. For success, warning, and error, the badge and button coloring should be swapped. The backgrounds. Let's see here. Let's see here. It's going to like totally blow it. All right, let's see what it did. Oh, it's not what I wanted to do. What happened here? Oh, I think I know what it did. Okay, so like we're going to undo that. Undo that. Oh, what are you doing? I didn't make any changes. Don't save. I never saved it. Uh-oh. See, this is why I wanted to get in there. Okay, so we're going to come back to here. And we're going to say, here we go. Not that. Okay, I know what it says. Swap the colors for the badge to the button for each light and dark component. Let's see if this works. Okay, just revert it. I don't know what happened. Hopefully it didn't just break everything. See, like that's why I like running Git all the time. I want to go to the editor and see if anything's broken. Nothing seems broken yet. Now let's see if that fixed it or if it just totally botched everything. What did that actually do? Nothing. That didn't do anything. Okay, so way to go. So we're going to change this again. I'll just do each one. For the success badge, change the background to the background color from the success button. Let's see here. Continue in reverse. So we'll do it one at a time. See, this is where things start to get weird. Okay, let's see. Oh. That's not what I said. This is... That's not what I said to do. I like it, but that's not what I said to do. So this is using opacity. Okay, let's see here. Apply the same thing to the error and warnings. See if it does that, because like I like this. This is so much better for success. Yeah, I'm not gonna see, like when you say like swap, it's like what? What are you doing? I don't know what you're talking about. Boom! Oh my god, it looks so much better. Let's see what the light theme looks like. Oh my god! All we have to do is change the warning color a little bit. For the light theme, the warning color needs to be more yellow than orange. I'm not just going to say the warning coloring. Oh boy, let's see what we got. I don't like that. Something happened here. We're going to go back to here. The warning color, background, border, etc. Let's see here. I want all of it at the same time. So before it makes the change, let's see what it looks like. So it looks like that. Let's see. Now let's see what it looks like. Ooh. I like it. We're keeping it. It's a little bright, but I like it. We're keeping it. Let's see what the dark theme looks like. It should look the same. We'll put it on system. Oh my gosh, it looks so good, doesn't it? All right, so now I'm okay with this information not having any blue tint. I want the success actual dialogue to have a slight blue color. I want a green color, so we're going to do that. Excellent. For the success dialogue background color, make sure the theme uses a green similar to the badge for each light and dark component. Let's see if this works. And then, you know, this is where you start to get like tweaks here and there. And I could probably spend probably like hours doing this, tweaking here, tweaking there. But I'm just giving you an example of what it takes to build something. And I think we're almost there. I'm going to actually like set up Git now and get this going. All right, let's see what that looked like. And then we'll say for the same thing, success. Not bad. Not bad. I think a little bit too much. And you know what? I'm going to leave that here I'm just going to leave it here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up my terminal. And then I'm going to see if I remember how to do this. Git init, right? Right? Now I initialize the Git repository. Now I'm going to add everything in there. Okay. Git commit m initial commit. Yes. So now Git has been initialized. I've added everything to the repository, and I made my initial commit. So now, if I make something and changed something and screwed up and I want to get back, I could just roll back to a previous commit and all good. So I don't have to worry about cursor itself handling any of the rollbacks. Even though you saw me doing a rollback via like the agent screens and stuff, I don't trust it because I remember a couple of times where it was doing something, I rolled it back and it deleted an entire file. It just removed everything from a file and it had no idea the history of it. So always use something like Git. And also, once you actually start to use once you actually have a lot of information, upload it to an actual remote repository like GitHub. You can make it private, totally fine. I hope you found something interesting from this. This is just the start. Once I have this actually done, I'm going to use it to create a new game for ASE Publishing, and that's coming soon. If you'd like to have more information about the game, just hit that comment button, and I'll let you know. Just let me know what you want to know, and I'll tell you more about it. I'm keeping the name hidden, partly because I don't even know what the name is, but I know what the gameplay is going to be. I'm just not going to tell you yet. But again, hit that comment button. Let me know what you'd like to see. If you'd like to see a specific game being created, I'm all about that as well. I'd love to actually build games that people want, especially if they're simple. I'm not going to build like a 3D platformer, so nothing like that. But things like Stop the Fuse, things like Grid Block, things like Math Attack. If you've got an idea that you want to see come out, let me know, and I might actually make it for you. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.